Happy Devils Sunday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast, Sunday edition. I'm your host, Sam Woo, here with Scotty of SiriusXM, Liquid Metal, coming to you live from the Michael J. Fox Studios in Beverly Hills, California. And the one and only, always on time,
yes,
Beer Baron.
Never the reason why we're starting 11 minutes late today. No, not at all.
You know what? How about you just shove it? Nothing, man. Happy Easter to you, boys. Yeah, happy Devil's Easter. Nothing like saying, how about you shove it, and then following that up by Happy Easter. Yeah, it's been an interesting week. I was on a cruise ship all week, so I'm like still doing this. I feel like I'm rocking and rolling as we're sitting here talking about the future of this team, which is looking bleaker and bleaker by the day. But
I just want to say to Max real quick, hey, yo, Scott Hallstein.
Yeah, and thank you, Max. Thank you for sticking up. Lucky I made it.
Survey says one less for and crew.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
That's Scott Hall. Survey says one more for the good guys, or one more for the bad guys.
Oh. Whatever, man. I came from Easter dinner. I was like rushing back to get here. Putting children to sleep. It's not easy. Anyways, let's get on task, Scotty. Get on task.
I am. I was ready to roll.
So
chalk one up for the good guys. That's right. Leave Bert alone.
Yeah, otherwise my tarp might come off. You
Tarp's
never know.
Coming off, baby. Look out.
Tarp's. That's gotta take that off right now. It's like a little bit of Chris Farley at you too. Yeah, dude. Get out.
He's having a heart attack.
You're right there. Yeah, now he's just having a heart attack. I think that's a baker's dozen right about there. I don't know.
Dozen for me.
I'll tell you, that's how the Devils make me feel lately. It feels like every time they give us a little bit of shining hope, they seem to take that rug and pull it right from under our feet. And against teams that they should be beating. You go up against Ottawa, you take a hot, steamy one right in the middle of the ice for that one.
Well, whoa. Don't skip over the great venture to Arizona, my friend.
Oh, no. We'll get back to that. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We'll talk plenty about that.
I guess there's another pile of steamers right there that should have been 2 points in the bucket.
Should have been 2 points in the bucket. Should have been 2 points, and you know what? They could have squeaked a point out of Vegas too. They missing these opportunities, and then they go and they beat a team like Toronto, and they do it in a way where they come back and they win that game. Where at points it looks like they're going to lose it, but
Michael Discala.
Devils.
That's honestly one of my
favorite. Do?
That's one of my all-time favorite Chris Farley scenes.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Did you take the? Did you change the oil last time we got gas? If you're trying to tell me that I put the wrong type of oil in, anyways, we could go off on a tangent. We could have a whole Farley, my idol, Chris Farley.
I mean, might be more entertaining than talking about this team right now, but
right,
we digress.
10W30. This team, they go out and they beat Toronto, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go into this Buffalo game, and the weird thing for me, it's like, I don't know if anybody's ever been in this position before, but I was on a cruise with my family. We're on spring break and all that kind of fun stuff. Having a grand old time, eating and drinking. I put on an extra 15, so that Bert Kreischer belly is really, really in full effect right now. But we're having a good time. But then, every time, I didn't have the internet, so I can't watch the games, and I'm getting just slow. updates on my phone. So like the only update I would get is like my phone would buzz and it'd give me either the end of the period or it'd give me the score. Mm-hmm. So fast forward to the Buffalo game. I'm feeling super confident after they beat Toronto. I was able to like pull up an article and like read a little bit about the game and kind of get a little bit of a recap. And then they go up 2-0. Bam. I'm like, all right, boys are cooking. They're feeling it. They're feeling it now.
They cooked for about 11, 12 minutes, and that was it.
And then Tage Thompson was like, I'm going to have Tage Thompson from last year all over your face. And
honestly, no. You know why? Because both of his first 2 goals were terrible, horrible giveaways in the zone. One, I don't know if you saw the highlight or not, but one was by the man who has been playing very well, but he made a bad play here, Timo Meier. Puck went up the boards. He's at the blue line, and he tries to just do a little quick shovel towards the center of the ice to where Jesper Bratt is kind of cutting. Unfortunately, he didn't get all the old barbecue sauce on that shovel, and it just kind of like ran out of gas there about 8 feet away from him, and then Tage Thompson just like, well, I'll take that, and right on in. And then the second one was Kevin Ball doing one of his classic Kevin Ball moves where he does a backhand pass to nobody behind the net. And who's there coming up the boards to intercept that one? Good old Tage Thompson. Now, granted, he buried both of them. The first one, Jake Allen got a piece of, like went off the top of his glove and then kind of like fluttered over, you know? And the second one was just a nasty shot. But both of them are the direct result of bad Devils misplays there in the zone. Just not thinking with the hockey sense.
No, and that seems to be like the identity of this team is bonehead moves. They probably have that on like one of those posters, and the players all tap it before they go out into the ice. They're like, "Hey, who's ready for some bonehead moves? Let's go. Play like a champion? No, we're gonna play like a moron. How about we play like a moron?" That's like that's what it says above the door. It says just play like a big dumb moron. And there you go. Kevin Ball like does this on it, like, and then he goes out there.
Did you ever see the old football follies where they used to have the thing instead of dial M for murder, they had dial M for moron, and then it would just show like all this.
It'd be the New Jersey Devils 23-24 highlights. Dial M for moron. And then the Benny Hill music would be playing in the background.
Yeah.
Oh my God. At least we don't have somebody like putting the puck in off their butt this year, but might as well.
I mean, and then there was the other questionable move at the end of the game where Travis Green pulled Jake Allen out. And by the way, Beer Baron, because I know you didn't see the game, you were cruising.
Cruising.
Jake Allen stood on his head throughout that game. He was by far and away the best player on the ice for the Devils. This could have easily been 5-2, or 6-2 without the 2 empty net goals at the end of the game. Like, that's how well he played. Just absolutely phenomenal from Jake Allen in goal. Like, got no complaints for him whatsoever. But the questionable move was Coach Green pulls Jake with, about like a minute and a half to go, and Buffalo gets they get an empty net goal. Then he calls a timeout.
I love it. Yeah. Well, that's fine. That's fine. He'll be coaching his way into
play like
a moron today. Tapping here.
Yeah, right. But I mean, like, there's 30 seconds to go in the game, and now you're down by 2. Now you're calling the timeout? Like, why wouldn't you call the timeout before that? You know?
Yeah.
And see if he can set up a play. I don't know.
He's going to be coaching his way over into a Foot Locker in about a couple of months now. So Unless, listen, the weird thing is they're still mathematically alive, right? Because nobody in the East wants to get this last wild card spot.
Oh yeah,
it feels like
no one wants
a lot of teams are like, meh. I don't want to get steamrolled by the Bruins or the Rangers in the first round. So why don't you guys have it? Like, and I mean,
no, we had it last year. You take it. No, you take it. No, you. Come on, you take it.
Guys. We're fine over here. We're fine. We want to play like a bunch of morons anyway, so it's okay. It's all right. It drives me nuts because like you get this. They're 5 points out, and you get hope, and then you're like, all right, cool. If we could beat Ottawa, we'll be 3 points out. Maybe a tough game against this team, but and you start like trying to like look forward because it's all as a fan can do. Is we can look at the schedule and be like, they should win this game. They probably won't win this game. And it's like, no, they'll win the games that they shouldn't win, and they don't just lose; they get embarrassed by like crap teams, and on a regular basis, and like not just like once or twice. It's happened all year long,
all season.
The good news is the good news
play up to the good teams, play down to the bad teams.
Well, here's the good news. Here's a silver lining to this giant turd of a season. If they make it into the playoffs, they are the worst team to get in, which means they would be playing everybody that's above them and everybody that's better than them.
Fair enough.
So, hey, they get into the playoffs, all of a sudden they become a juggernaut and they just destroy everybody. They go on a 16-0 tear because, they beat everybody that's better than them, or at least they play better when they play teams above them. So let's hope if they find a way in, if they find a magical run.
I mean, nobody wants this last spot, and you got 4 teams now that are all just they're basically a crapshoot, like we were doing in Vegas. There, the Flyers. Who the hell knows what's going on with them? The Islanders. Who knows what's going on with them? The Devils. The Red Wings. These are all teams that like could have had this spot locked up. Hell's bells, the Flyers have been in 3rd place the entire season, and they might not even make the playoffs now because Washington jumped them, in the standings. Yeah. And Washington's hot, and they got that veteran team where they can just their veteran leadership knows like, okay, guys, we've been playing in 3rd gear all season. Time to rev it up to 5, and let's get this bad boy going. And that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sam. I know you popped in here.
Yeah,
and Sam was doing math on the Woo report, by the way. If you wanna improve your math skills, check out the latest Woo report for all of the math skills, the mathematics with Woo. By the way, Beer Baron, Sam's new mafia name is Sammy Pink Slips because he was ready to fire everyone the other day. So he's
good.
He's
as we should.
Yeah,
as we should.
Yeah. So a couple things on the math. Assuming that Washington, right now, Washington is actually tied in points with the Flyers, but
are they tied? I'm sorry. I thought they were.
But 2 games, but they've played 2 less games than the Flyers. The Flyers right now is very interesting. If the Devils are going to make the playoffs, it's through the Flyers spot. They would have to leap over Detroit and the Islanders to do that. So 6-point lead. The Flyers have. Devils have 1 game in hand. Assuming that the Devils win that game. Assuming. All right? This is all theoretical. And you've got that 1 game, April 13th, against the Flyers.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You win
and
outright.
The Icelanders, the last game of the season, too.
As well. In theory, depending upon what happens this week, because it's going to be Pittsburgh, Rangers, Ottawa, and Nashville.
Tomorrow. Thank you, Ariel. I almost forgot about that. Islanders and Flyers tomorrow. They play each other.
I hope they both lose.
So who would you want to win in that scenario?
I think you got to go for
you want the Islanders to win.
Yeah, you got to get the Icelanders because they have less points.
Yeah, and it kind of balances that whole situation out. But go on.
The last thing you want is them to go to friggin' overtime where they both at least get something.
Yeah.
So, all I want is a regulation, just a regulation win or loss. Okay?
I will counter that point. Maybe you want the Islanders to win.
That's what I
Reason
said.
That's what I
Yeah.
said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
you
we
said.
both-
we
I
both
thought.
said
I thought I heard Flyers. Okay. So
No.
No, Icelanders.
So the other thing too, going with Beer Baron's theory about the playoffs, if they do make the 8th seed, they've got the road ice advantage since they're better on the road.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Plus-
it's like
Plus
The
us
road
fans,
ice
plus us fans don't have to give the Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment that game 4 of each round. You can
man.
take that off of their books.
The no OT zone. That's right, Max. The road ice advantage. Oh my
You know,
goodness.
What pisses me off about the team too is like if they get into the playoffs, they were primed to have that like resurrection of Dougie Hamilton, like come into the first round of the playoffs, a la
No, they
Tampa
said
Bay
he's-
Lightning.
he's-
I don't think
They said
he's
done
gone for the
years.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not coming back.
Well,
Hopefully Nate Bastian though,
And-
maybe.
you know that's another thing too. This whole Rempe thing, like
That's
saw
what I
somebody posted.
just give us Big Mac by Wednesday. Just please, just Big Mac. Be good by Wednesday, please. That's all I
know,
really care
please. Because Rempe is like sitting there like calling him out, like, "Oh yeah, next I'm gonna go after Mac." Blah blah blah. In the beginning, I was like, when he did the outdoor game and like that whole thing, I was like, "All right, it's cool, man. It's like old school hockey." He's going out there and he's fighting some guys. I'm like, "All right, cool." Even though he's a Ranger, like I hate his guts because he is a Ranger. If he was on any other team, I probably would have been like, "Yeah, it's pretty awesome, man." The kid goes out there, and we've talked about this. We don't need to get into this nauseum anymore because I know there's people that are, oh, you guys are crying about it. No, it's just like the thing that pisses me off is like you have an autographed picture of Nate Bash and all bloodied against the boards and stuff like that, and like making a joke out of it. Like the dude's been out with a concussion since that hit. You know, I just like stupid stuff like that. Just pisses me off. So hopefully Mac gets into the game, and we have the tilt that everybody's been waiting for, and then that settles itself out. And then
and I hope
maybe McDermott.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say I hope that Green and Laviette put them both out there first shift of the game and
old
let it happen.
Let it go.
And then they can play after that. But refs, stay the hell away this time. Don't be trying to break this thing up.
Let them go
police
at it,
themselves because the refs do a crappy enough job to begin with. Let them police themselves. This is something that has to happen, and if you don't let it happen right at the start of the game, this one is going to get extremely ugly. Ugly. And to be quite honest, maybe Scotty from 10, 15 years ago wouldn't care. Nowadays, I don't want to see someone running Jack Hughes or Jesper Bratt or something like that. And whatever, I'm sure Ranger fans don't want to see it the other way as well.
You don't want to see
Curtis
us
Lazar
tapping like Panarin.
Yeah, again, I thought the Devils kept their wits about them in the game once Rempe was ejected. It wasn't like they went searching to try and get at some of the Ranger star players. I thought they showed a lot of class, which obviously someone else didn't. But just put them out on the ice, opening face off, and let it happen. Or like I said, this game is going to get extremely ugly, and you're going to have injuries on both sides. And honestly, I don't want that right now for this team. I want Big Mac to go out there and do his job, and I want him to pummel Rempe into the ice. That's what I want to see. But do it right off the face off. There's just too much built up aggression and everything like that. Don't let it fester for the entire game.
I disagree.
Yep.
I disagree.
Ugh. Sam wants to see an old school bench clearing brawl.
Well, you know
where
what?
people are taking whacks at each other with their tomahawks.
No, I like to say I don't like the premeditated stuff of actually hurting players, but I think the Devils should do what you guys said, but you got to go hard to the net. You got to crash into Shesterkin.
That's different, yeah.
When the refs aren't looking, hit, Panarin from behind, stuff like that. You got to be chippy. You can't just be like poking at the stick. You got to play a physical game. You got to show them we're not messing around. You took out 2 of our guys. Having class. I get that, and it's the right way to play, Scotty. But at the same time, it doesn't stop what's going on.
I think it would be different if it was the entire Rangers team. This really seems to be isolated into one singular player who doesn't know how to control himself out there. And we can talk about the Trouba thing every now. Trouba's had some illegal hits, but he's had some very legal hits as well. The one on Bastion was completely legal. It was shoulder to shoulder. And Nate didn't like it. He got up and he put him in a headlock and wrestled him down. Great. I'm all about that.
I
cool.
would say
right.
I would normally agree with you, but it's not just one. It's 2 players that are out currently right now.
But it's one player that caused both of those. That's why I say just let Big Mac go after him.
Nah.
And then they can play a hockey game after that.
I'm an eye for an eye kind of guy. I'm a little different. If you take out 2 of my players, I'll take out 2 of yours.
Go out there, bleed all over them.
Yeah.
I don't want the Devils to be throwing, illegal elbows like that.
Well, first of all, the team is not built for that. Who's going to hit him? Jack Hughes, all 175 pounds of him.
Yeah, that's also a problem too.
Yeah, but
he's going to put his shoulder. He's going to put his elbow out, and his shoulder is going to get blown out his back.
You got Lazar, you got Noshik, you got Brendan Smith, you got Kevin Ball. You got enough guys out there that can go ahead and do that. I don't want to see the Devils throwing illegal elbows like that. That's not what I want to see. Do I want to see them play physical and hit hard? Yes, but I just want to see them do it the way you should, except for Big Mac going after Rempe. That's one. But everyone else, you need to play hard and you need to play physical against them. But the cheap shots, I'm not about that right now because I don't feel like, even as much as I friggin' hate the Rangers, I really feel like it was one singular player.
Now, what if Rempe does it again? He takes out a 3rd player in this game.
It's not going to happen because Big Mac is going to sit him down right off the opening faceoff. That's what I would like to see. And as soon as he does step on the ice, Travis Green better, if he's not out there on the opening faceoff, Travis Green better be getting Big Mac right out there on the ice. Immediately. As soon as he steps on.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Well, hey,
that's what I say.
Switching gears from this conversation to, unfortunately, I was watching highlights of the Rangers beating the Coyotes in Arizona. And I was pissed off about it for multiple reasons because I hate to watch them win. But the entire place was probably like 70-30 Ranger fan to Coyote fan, which was exactly the same scenario when we were out there to watch the Devils play the Coyotes. It was about a 70-30 mix where that place, I still say, if the Devils scored first in that game, the roof would have been ripped completely. We would have went absolutely nuts. Where we already had cops standing behind us because I was getting a little tuned up.
What do you mean us?
It was me.
What do you mean? Yeah.
It's me. So I'm sorry. I like to have a good time and watch my team get absolutely stomped by the Arizona Coyotes. It's what a wonderful world that's. God, sometimes I frighten small children, all right? I don't, anyway.
Watch out for that 4-0 Devils jersey.
Oh, my God, I was pumped. But Tarps did come off. Tarps came off after that game, but not in a fun way.
Oh, they did.
Very angry.
Right,
there's
right
a few people out there.
The entire campus of Arizona State University. Oh, yes. Right,
the legend lives on. The legend lives on. In the middle of Arizona State University, there's a statue, a bronze statue of me with my shirt completely off. You just scream, and if you walk by, it's censored, so it like starts cursing and yelling at you. You like hockey? Guess what? I hate it.
And you can get the video. Beer Baron Gone Wild, 1995 now, plus shipping and handling.
Yeah, exactly.
Order it now. JoinOurCrew.com for the latest.
Yeah. Bert went for a swim that night. My alter ego went for a swim. I went wild, all right. Diving into a pool that I might have gotten some kind of like bacterial infection from, but whatever.
Yeah, you live and you learn.
It's okay. You live and you learn. You have fun. But I mean, the way the season's gone and the way that things have gone with this team. Another thing that I want to bring up is the recent news from our good friend Ryan, and I can never pronounce his last name, so I'll give that up to Sam to give out the last name. Come on.
Who?
Novozinski.
Come on. Novozinski. There you go.
Call him Novocop. That's why I call him.
Novocop.
Yeah.
Novocop. But he had a really interesting article about Bruce Boudreau becoming the Devils' next head coach, or at least wanting to become the Devils' next head coach. Has a good relationship with the with the Hughes family. And I see Sam saying touchdown for some reason.
No, I've been saying this for the last 2 months.
Okay, since you've been saying it for the last 2 months, I know we've kind of kicked around ideas of coaches. I don't think the last time we actually had a serious conversation about this, we talked about Boudreau's name. So what are your thoughts, the two of you? What are your thoughts on him actually becoming, and I guess everybody out there on Facebook Live, on Twitter, on Twitch, on YouTube, everybody out there, first of all, thank you for listening any way you do. We love you all, but what are your ideas? What are your thoughts?
Well, I'll just say that it's really no shock that, former NHL coach who still wants to coach is throwing his name out there in the reins for the New Jersey Devils. That's that's really probably par for the course for any coach that wants to get back into coaching because they know there's going to be an opening. I do think the relationship with the Hughes family is a good thing. Boudreau, though, as hard-nosed as he is, which I think this team definitely needs, I don't think he has ever won a cup in all of his years. I know he's gotten there a few times, and he had some really good Capitals teams as well, and they've always seemed to just poo-poo the bed.
So it's Lindy Ruff 2.0 is what you're trying to tell me.
No, because they have definitely different coaching styles. But I'm just throwing that out there as he is someone who tends to bounce around, which, that's basically every professional sports coach. I'm just not sure. But I like the idea of someone a little more. I've always looked at Berube, just for what he did in St. Louis, how he turned that team around. Again, he didn't last very long either. But I think the idea of the hard-nosed coach to come in and kind of, what have we been saying? Immature kids, kind of get them, whipped into shape and, playing a little bit harder, playing good defense, creating offense off of that defense instead, I think would be a good thing for this team. Would it be the worst decision in the world? No, I don't think so. But I'm just trying to be a counterpoint to the discussion.
I think if it's going to be Boudreau, it has to come with Scott Stevens as a package. If Scott Stevens isn't there, because you got to go back to the past. A lot of these teams, like the Detroit Red Wings, they go back to the past. Steve Yzerman is now running the team, right? The Devils, they have Marty Brodeur, hockey ops right now, after spending time on the business end, creating jerseys, whatever. Scott Stevens, defense is the problem right now.
Just skate right over that part.
Yeah. Scott Stevens, the defense is the issue right now. All right. Momentarily, the goaltending is okay, but right now, the defense is a big problem, and there used to be a culture of defense with the New Jersey Devils and Lou Lamoriello. That culture is gone, and I'd like to get some of that back. Berube would be one of my choices, Scotty, if Scott Stevens isn't going to be part of the Boudreau package, because Boudreau and Stevens had some success for 1 year in Minnesota for that 1 year together as a coach and assistant coach, and then the other coach, again, I think more for driving up the but they probably have a deal done. Is the Rod Brindamore scenario because
well, we already know that answer.
Yeah, but I don't think the Devils would even go to Berube just because it'd be a smart thing to do. They're going to do something different, Plus,
yeah,
Boudreaux
but
actually was in Slapshot in the movie, I believe, as a cameo.
The original,
I think so. Yeah.
Or the second one with. Did you ever see the second one with what's his name? Oh my God,
Stephen
with the
Baldwin.
Billy Baldwin, Stephen Baldwin.
Billy
I
or
don't think
Stephen
I've ever seen
Baldwin?
the second one. I don't think you've ever
Stephen
seen the second
Baldwin.
one. Yeah.
I think I have it on DVD, and I don't think I ever watched it. It's like sacrilegious to like open it up.
John Lopez says about Jay Pandolfo, should seriously be considered because, right now with the BU headed to the Frozen Four, I think that's a good pick, but I'm still traumatized by his old teammate, John Hines, that I would say no for now,
His old teammate.
Yeah, John Hines was Pandolfo's teammate at BU.
What about his other teammate? What about his other teammate, John Madden?
Johnny Mad Dog Madden.
Imagine you brought back a Mad Dog Pando coach, assistant coach combination right there.
Oh, our third line would be unstoppable.
Palat will win the Selke.
We wouldn't be able. Yeah, we wouldn't be able to fix much, but damn, would our third line would be amazing.
That checking line would be unreal.
Oh man, put out your best line. We will match them with our third line. You watch.
Collect records. Yes, Sullivan in Pittsburgh. I don't know if they're going to let him go. It would be a shocker if they did.
And
but
we talked about that because that tie between Fitzgerald and Sullivan too. That Sullivan basically opened the door for Fitzgerald to like be a GM and get into the career that he's into now. Like I didn't like. I guess like introduce him to the idea of it, of like sitting up in the box and like watching from above and actually like having say in certain things. But there's a connection there. There's a connection. Boudreaux, there's a connection with Hughes. And if Hughes, it feels like if he says it, it might be a thing that they get done. I think he has a lot of say in what goes on with this team. Or at least, Fitzy has, I feel like he has like a direct line to Fitzgerald's office because he was a big fan of Lindy Ruff. Like Jack Hughes really liked him. It felt like Nico didn't like Ruff that much, and I feel like that maybe speculating that Lindy Ruff was given such a long leash because of Jack Hughes' endorsement. So. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting because right now, Green, the way the team's playing, there's no way in God's green earth, unless they make it into the playoffs and they go on one hell of a run, is he going to come back as the head coach. I saw somebody, I think Ariel said Kevin Dineen. Kevin Dineen would be great. I mean, he does great with the AHL, and maybe option. He's due for the promotion, so he could be due for that promotion. It'll be interesting. I just hope whoever they bring in here, like you said, brings in a sound defensive structure.
Mm-hmm.
Realizes like, yes, we do have this talent of fast, offensive-minded defensemen, but we also need to teach the team how to play defense. Otherwise, we're going to be chasing the lead all the time and, destroying goaltenders' careers one at a time.
I mean, I agree. I don't know. I think Berube would be a good choice. I would love, Burnett, but obviously he's not available anymore. Nope. And, I feel like Berube can bring kind of maybe the same sort of thing that Rick Tocchet has brought to Vancouver, where they're just, I got him on in the background right now. I mean, they're just, they've flipped from one end to the other with him as the coach. Yeah. And Max is right. We need players who give 60-minute effort. So,
you need a coach that's going to demand that. And you need a coach that's going to demand that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need a coach that's going to create accountability for these players, and make them want to go. What are you doing? Sorry, I'm dog sitting my buddy's dog over here, and he's getting a little like,
Get a little
hey, Uncle Scott, what the hell's going on? Pay attention to me over here. What you doing?
Getting a little handsy over there. Getting a little handsy.
I'm ready.
He's got
I'm ready to play
maybe the
touch.
dog. Yeah, maybe the dog's got an opinion. He's like, oh, and you're like, oh,
Simon,
sounds
what do
good.
you think? Simon's not much of a barker or a speaker, so
Oh, good. That's always
he's
good.
a good boy.
Yeah, dude. It's. I don't want to torch guy who's going to come in here and like yell at the players. Although very much, and we've had this conversation before. Like Tom Brady, later in his career, you like look at him and you're like, all right, I don't hate you as much as I used to. Same thing with Tortorella. Like I used to despise him mainly because he was the Rangers head coach. But then like he went to got a couple different teams under his belt and went to Vancouver, went to Columbus, and I kind of like he grew on me. But I don't want somebody that's going to be. He's not right for this team. Like I don't think his personality would fit this team.
No,
you need somebody that's going to be
a veteran team, not a younger team. I don't know. I just see him not working well with some of these kids, and he'll end up scratching them for no reason. And then, oh, good Lord, there's going to be drama on top of drama on top of drama. And that's not what we need. We need, like we said, a coach that's going to make these kids accountable for their actions there on the ice and want to go out and play a full 60 minutes. And not just, we can kind of, phone it in for like 2 periods. And then, for the last 10 minutes of the game, we'll just pour it on and we can score like 3 or 4 goals. That worked last year, but this year it's not. Because teams get wise to this. And maybe the system we were playing wasn't, made for the long term. So, nothing against Coach Ruff. He did a great job last year. The team, most points ever, most wins ever in a season.
I like what Max just said. Whatever we do not, and I repeat, do not hire Gallant. Yeah, please do not hire Gallant. There's a reason that guy goes into a team, they play for 3 years, and then he's gone.
3?
He'll get you to the promised land.
Like a year and a half tops.
Yeah, he'll get your team, into the playoffs, or he'll get your team, clicking. But then all of a sudden, his message wears real thin on everybody involved. I don't know, man. Like Scott Stevens would be cool, like Sam was saying before, but I doubt that's going to happen. I heard a rumor that he's good. Like he doesn't need or want to go back to hockey. I don't know if that's true or not. And I can't verify that being true or not. So don't take me by my word. And I hope it's not true because when he was the Devils, defensive coach, they were damn good. And it sometimes it is that, you bring back somebody like that where it's like, all right, yeah, not only are you on the ice, you're like, you could point up in the rafters and be like, you want to see my credentials? My credentials are right up there, also in the Hall of Fame. So if you want to go talk about something, we could talk about it. I think he would be a great voice for this locker room. I don't know.
He could just hold up his hand. I got 3 reasons why. This ring, this ring, and this ring. That's why. That's why you're going to listen to what I'm saying right now.
So, I mean, it's we got how many games left that this is going to be playing out, and then we'll see what happens. And
what was it, like
just
8?
Kind of like it just
8 games, I think, something like that.
8 games. So in 8 games, it's a possibility of 16 points. when you're back against the wall.
This team that hasn't won more than 3 in a row this entire season.
Yeah, they're going to go on an 8-game heater right into the playoffs.
Yeah. I think the chances are slim to none, but they are still mathematically there. And again, with everyone else, Detroit, Philly, and the Islanders, not wanting to just wrap this up and get it over with. There's always going to be a chance here, and especially because the Devils' last 2 games are against the Flyers and the Islanders. So they're gonna drag us along here for the ride all the way to the friggin' end, buddy. That's what's gonna happen.
All the way to the bitter end.
That is what's gonna happen. So
I will say this. I predicted a couple months ago. I'm like, they're gonna get close. They're gonna get close. They're gonna get close, and then it's gonna come down to the last game of the season. I kind of hope that's true. I kind of hope that because I'll be there. I'll be at that last game of the year, and I hope we're playing for something, and it's not just like show up for fan appreciation night and get a cheap bag of ice, whatever crappy giveaway they give us.
a bag of ice, huh?
Well, I only say that because I went there for teacher appreciation night, and they gave us an ice pack, a reusable ice pack. And I said, thanks. I feel appreciated. And I walked
Well, they
away.
figured teachers probably have a lot of headaches after the day of dealing with all the kids. I'm gonna put an ice pack on the head, like that's all.
Well, I actually thought it was a flask because it was like kind of in the shape of a flask, and I thought I'm like, oh damn, they really understand us. And it wasn't a flask at all. It was a reusable ice pack. Yeah, I was like, oh, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Is it like, was it like a whoopee cushion? Like, what the hell?
No,
there's
it's
a top on it?
It literally looks like a flask. It's in my refrigerator. Otherwise, I go get it. But it literally looks like a flask, and it looks like it has a little top on it, a little twisty top in there. But no, nothing. It's a nice pack.
Maybe
hey,
next
Sam.
year. Maybe next year, the Let's Go Devils podcast will participate. Maybe we'll give away a Let's Go Devils podcast flask, to the teachers next year.
Yeah, dude, that you would be like a superhero if you did something like that.
How about we give away whoopee cushions, and then everyone can bring them into the game, and if the Devils suck it up, well, you know what's going to be happening. Like just throughout like the arena,
It'd be like that pizza
that would
had
actually be
in
hilarious.
Arizona,
Oh yeah.
Holy crap.
Dude, that did.
Or that
That
burger
pizza
from United.
destroyed. Oh my god, that whole trip was so much fun, with the exception of me getting like some kind of stomach bug from the food.
I got straight up food poisoning after Vegas.
You should have had the ribeye.
Did you?
I should have had the Sam Woo special, the ribeye. I
didn't know you got food poisoning.
Sandwich instead. Oh yeah, dude. That was like the worst flight back I've ever had in my life. I was
God.
I was sweating bullets on the plane, and of course it was delayed. We were delayed getting on, and then once we got on the plane, it was another 30-minute delay. And then the kids in front of me had Wetzel pretzels, which just like I don't know if they have them on the East Coast. They're like and all they do is just smell like butter everywhere. And I'm just like, holy jeez. And then this guy comes and stands next to my seat with like this greasy, eggs and potato breakfast thing in this little bag. And he like puts his arm up on the rest, and it's just like the food thing is just like dangling next to my face. And I'm like, what are you doing? Come on! Yeah. Like, I have never been on a flight where I had my hand on that little bag in the little barf bag thing that they had there.
Oh,
dude,
no.
I didn't think I was going to make it. I don't know how I did it.
Beer Baron,
I was like,
you're lucky
at the airport.
What's that?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding around. You did a nice thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because when we got back on our trip, Sky, I don't know if you knew. So, getting the checked-in luggage. Oh, no, it's not at this terminal, A. You got to go to Terminal C. So, Beer Baron and I were originally going to take an Uber ride home. So I went on his Uber ride to go from Terminal A to Terminal C. And there was a long line, people getting bags, and everyone was all pissed off because they didn't have their bags. Luckily, I had mine. But by the time I got my bags, the Uber surge was like $150, $175 to go to Cranford.
Awesome.
Yeah. It was. Let's just say I should have taken off of work the next day. That was a stupid idea to get home at like 1 a.m. and then go to work the next morning.
That was Shorts guys.
Oh, I'm so happy I took off on that Tuesday. Art
Yeah, I
Nunez,
should have.
great idea here for the giveaways. Besides the whoopee cushions, Sam Woo bobbleheads. I think that's a winner right there. If we can make some Sam Woo
Yeah.
bobbleheads, that would be
Like I'm
amazing.
holding a salad. Like I'm holding a salad.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That's a great
And it's
idea,
like,
Art Nunez.
Mrs. Woo, is Sam eating a salad? And then we can just hit it. He's just like, yes,
And
yes, 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 yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. We'll have to find where we can get like a dozen of those made for pretty cheap. We'll go on Amazon later.
And
But
Let's Go
listen,
Devils podcast whoopee cushions. I think that's what we got.
I think that's a real thing. I think that's actually
Yeah.
a real thing that we have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you don't find the humor in it, then the humor's lost in you. 8 games left. 5 points out. Sam, mathematically speaking, you were saying before, do you know the actual odds for this team to make it? It's probably like what, 1%, 5%,
I
something
think
like
it's
that.
at
Something
9%
stupid.
right now.
9%.
I think it's 9.
Yeah.
We went up to 13
So-
after Toronto,
Yeah.
and then we went back.
Oh,
down.
that'll happen. That'll happen
Yeah.
when they give you a little taste, of victory.
So you're
They'll give you
telling
a
me
little
there's
boost.
a chance?
Exactly. She doesn't want to date you. She just wants to be your friend. That's where the Devils are. We're friend zoned. The Devils have been friend zoned by the playoffs. That's where we're at. Where you can watch us have fun with other people while you sit in your car and eat Taco Bell. Sorry, Max, had to throw that in there. But listen, I still have hope. I have hope until the last minute. I have hope until like the last day where they tell me that there's no chance that their team is going to make it into the playoffs. And then we could start, speculating what they're going to do, because they will retain their first round pick for this year. They'll have lottery odds because that's what they do best. They get into that lottery. Things can happen. But I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to get into that conversation. I don't want to have to be in that situation. I know it's inevitable that we're going to have to get to a point where we're going to have to overhaul this team in a certain way, where we're going to have to look at certain things like Andre Palat. We're going to have to see. Listen, he's great in the playoffs. Yada yada yada. We have to get into the playoffs first.
He's great in the playoffs for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those things. It's like, oh, yeah, the car you just bought, it drives great. Once you get the wheels, I'll give you the wheels later. It's,
this is like the John Voight car from Seinfeld, where George Costanza thinks he's got the John Voight, and they're like, doesn't John spell his name Jon? Because on here in the owner's manual it says John. I'm sure he misspelled his own name.
Exactly. That's it. I mean, I feel like they need to look at a couple of things. Kevin Ball's great and all, but they need to bring in a surefire defenseman that's going to be able to really fix that back end. I think he'll be fine eventually, but I think his growth got a little stunted this year. On the other hand, Timo Meier, healthy, playing under a new coach, is like a brand new human being.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully that continues. That carries over into next year. There's a lot of positives. Like towards the end of the year, there's a lot of positives to be able to take out of this team and to take out of this season. It just sucks to be like, well, we showed up, we got there, and everything was fine. It's like, no, damn it. The beginning of the season was supposed to be like, we're gonna be Eastern Conference Finals this year. We're gonna kick everybody's ass. We're gonna do this. Jack Hughes, 150-point season. Started the year off, like a 3-point average a game. He was like at 25 points in 12 games or something like that. Team.
Yes. Michael Descala, the Devils are like that old Mercedes that Steve Buscemi is trying to sell in the latest episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. There is a smell on the inside that just will not go away.
9.3 playoff chance. Thank you, Max. 9.3. It's better than 9.2. I like that.
Yeah.
It is better than 9.2. That is true.
9.2, yeah,
Better than 9.2. That is true.
Trying to think of that positive.
Big heavy wingers.
Bring those positive vibes,
Yeah, man. And are we going to go after Toffoli again next year and try to bring him back into the mix? because he played well with Jackie Boy. God dang, this stupid preseason gave us so much hope. I hate the preseason too. Undefeated preseason curse. You know what? Whoever said that, I hate you for making me believe that, because now it's in my head.
I don't
Now
think
I
they
will
need
wish
to
for
go.
them to lose the game.
I don't think they need to go after Toffoli. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think they need to. I would rather them stick with what they've been rolling with now. I think they got to fix the bottom six side a little bit more than the top six.
They
I
definitely
think
do.
Holla with Jack and Holtzy. I think I like the way that has been playing. I love the way Jesper, Nico, and Timo have been. They've all been racking up the points, since they've been put together. I like that. Maybe you want to find, maybe a more powerful winger to put with Jack and Holla to, maybe help Jack out a little bit on the physicality. Maybe you can move Holtzy to the third line, and then get a little bit more scoring there on a third line. Maybe with Dawson I don't know. Mercer's another one too. I don't know what the hell is going on with him. He has just had a roller coaster season. I do believe that he's been dinged up for quite some time. But Mercer is a gamer, and he still has not missed a game in his entire NHL career since he started. But there were a couple of games where he had to go to the locker room, and I was like, oh boy, is it finally going to happen? But I definitely think he's had a tough year. But yeah, Fitzgerald has been quoted in interviews saying that he wants to get tougher on the wing, next year. So does that mean another power forward coming in?
And I'm looking at a couple of names right now that are going to be free agents going into this year. Jake Getzel, he didn't re-up with whoever the hell he got traded to. I can't remember right now. Carolina. He didn't sign an extension with them, right?
I don't think
so. Sam Reinhart, that's another one that he's a winger. Let's see. We'll scroll down this list. That's a defenseman. We don't need to talk about that. Elias Lindholm. Well, he was a center. I keep forgetting that. Did Hannafin sign a deal with? Or no, he's going to be
Vegas.
A free agent.
No, he'll be a free agent.
So there's a decent Matt Duchene, but he's 33 years old. There's a decent list of guys that are going to be coming out. Brett Pesce is going to be available next year as a defenseman. Anyways, so there's going to be options out there. It feels like the free agent market's going to be pretty good going into this offseason, so it's going to be interesting to see if they do indeed try to move some things around or move some players around. Like I said, I like Andre Palat. I feel like he does have a value to this team, but like right now, it's like I don't understand where the hell that value is, and he's eating
not $6 million worth. That's for sure.
Hell no, it is not. And I was about to say he's eating up such a huge chunk of salary cap that maybe it is time to explore other options and ship them out to whogivesadamm.com. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess Hannafin did. I didn't even see that. Thanks, Dubs. He said that Hannafin did sign an extension with Vegas. I didn't even
see. I could have sworn I saw that too.
I missed that. My apologies.
Yeah, Reinhart will be asking for a big contract, but I don't know. I see a lot of people saying bring back Henrique. Henrique would be a nice fix for that third line. I would love to see him come back. Sorry, Nate Bastion. Get rid of that 14, too, if he comes back. I've had it for a couple of years. No one cares.
I mean, Rico might be a good player to put with Jack as well.
Yeah, exactly. Glad that got a smile out of you there, Sammy. Yeah, I don't know, man. there's the team. These 8 games, I hate this. I hate this like so much. It's better when you know your fate. And you can just kind of be like, all right, pack it in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start looking at the draft class and blah 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 blah. Or you're like, all right, here we go, first round. You guys got your tickets. Like, who we get in first round is going to be fun. Like, Like last year was exciting because we knew we were in the playoffs like for a while. We were pretty set in stone. Where we're like, all right, this is going to be fun. And then it was just a matter of like, all right, who we're going to get. And then like we basically it was like the Devils Rangers were like on a collision course for quite some time last year, going into that first round. So it's like limbo, like hockey limbo right now. It's not looking good. I mean, like it's not looking
How
good.
How low can you go?
There's a chance. There's a chance.
We'll see what happens, but I think we're coming about to the hour marker over here. So I think we should probably wrap this bad boy up. What's that?
Yeah. I was reading Codex says Palat is here to stay and you will not like it. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
53 points as a Devil in 2 years. Half the time he's been hurt. Yep.
Yeah,
that's
right.
We are literally paying for everything he did in Tampa Bay. That is what we are paying for right now.
Well, you know what we were paying for is the gravitas of like, hey, look, Andre Palat came and signed with us. Who else will? And it kind of helped like broker deals to, I don't know, I'm just talking out my ass.
I think they're looking more at Jack Hughes and Luke Hughes and Nico Heischer and Timo Meyer than they are Andre
They're not
Palat.
like, hey, Andre Palat, how's the school systems where you move? Like, do you like having all 4 seasons? Is New Jersey that close to New York?
I got this art teacher named Beer Baron. He's pretty good over here. He's pretty good.
Pretty good guy. You
just
should see what he does with the
cross
watercolor.
paths with Sammy Pinkslip, so you'll be out on your ass in no time. Hey yo.
Yeah.
All right. Final thoughts is somehow or another the Devils still have 2 back-to-backs in the final 8 games of this friggin' season. All I will say is, Big Mac, please come through and do what you do on Wednesday night. That's all I really care about.
Yeah. Palat's daughter never saw snow before coming to New Jersey, so obviously we will extend him for the family. That's probably true too. And listen, I say this in jest because I do really, really like Andre Palat. I like his game. I just wish he would score more. That's about it. And I think everybody can agree to that. My final thought is I'm coming out of retirement. I'm going to shake off the dust. There's going to be a training montage of me preparing to play hockey again. I had a long conversation with my inner self after I put on an extra 15 pounds on this freaking cruise. And I said, I need to do something. I need to do something to get this big fat body back into shape. So tomorrow starts a new me. And I got to go to dig out all my old hockey gear. I know where my skates are. I have no clue where the hell anything else is, but
I'm just picturing Beer Baron in that Homer Simpson. All you can eat, all you can eat, all you can eat, all you can eat.
That's what it was. The man ate all the shrimp and 2 plastic lobsters. I wish Shorts Guy was here because he would have done that perfectly. I looked into his eyes, and he fast. Anyways, but yeah, so I'm coming out of retirement. As for the last 8 games. Let's end the season with a bang, boys. Let's go out fighting. Well, I don't want to go out on our back. Let's go out fighting.
Max
That's all I can ask for.
Max says he needs to do Pilates.
Oh!
Hey! Ba-da-ba-boom. There you go. Look,
Try the Veal. It's the best in the city. 12 o'clock show is completely different than 10 o'clock, folks. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Tip your bartenders.
All right, Sammy boy. Wrap her up.
Just want to wish a belated happy birthday, good friend of the podcast, Stan Fischler, 92.
Oh,
92.
all right.
92 years old.
Woo!
Woo!
92
Very
years
nice.
old. Stan Fischler.
92 years young.
Yeah.
All right, 92 years young.
And he just called you to say thank you.
Yeah.
No, that's Simon over here playing with my robot vacuum thing, whatever it is,
No.
whatever they're called. He's like he's a
Simon?
bulldog. He's a bulldog as well, and his lip is like going across like the little power button back and forth. So yeah, that's all that was. Sorry.
We're going
Very
to be
cool.
dropping the podcast at midnight. We'll have Devils After Dark and Game Day Live on Tuesday, where Devils take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. We'll try to get Short Sky live from England
Ooh.
on
Simon.
the podcast.
You talk from London, England? Oh,
That
cheerio,
was terrible.
Sam Woo.
JoinOurCrew.com. Sign up today. Till next time, let's go Devils.
Oi!